What happens when one of the biggest stars on the planet walks onto a daytime talk show expecting a warm conversation about music and legacy, and instead finds herself in a tense, live TV clash that instantly shifts the mood of the entire table? Make sure to subscribe to the Star Talks and like and comment for more talk show coverage. The applause is loud and sustained as Jennifer Lopez walks out, smiling, waving to the crowd, clearly comfortable under the lights. Whoopi Goldberg is already half standing, clapping along, laughing as the audience refuses to calm down. Okay, Whoopi says into her mic, grinning. We love you too, but we gotta talk. Jennifer laughs as she sits down. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take all of it. Joy Behar leans toward her, smiling. You've been doing this for how long now? Because I remember you from the beginning. Jennifer nods. Long enough that I don't say the number anymore. The audience laughs. The energy is light, familiar, exactly what viewers expect. Sunny Hostin smiles politely, hands folded on the table, listening. Sarah Haynes jumps in quickly. You honestly don't slow down, Sarah says. New music, new films, tours, businesses. I get tired just reading about you. Jennifer shrugs playfully. I love what I do. I don't know how to sit still. Whoopi nods approvingly. That's the secret right there. Loving the work. Jennifer agrees. If you don't love it, the grind will break you. Sunny glances up at that word, grind, but says nothing yet. Joy chuckles. See, I'd be broken by lunchtime. More laughter. Jennifer relaxes into the chair, shoulders loose, clearly enjoying the back and forth. They talk about her early days, auditions, rejection, proving herself in music and film. The audience responds warmly, applauding at familiar milestones. Then Sunny shifts forward slightly, her tone calm but intentional. Jennifer, I want to talk about something that's been coming up a lot lately in conversations around success and opportunity. The room subtly changes. Jennifer turns towards Sunny, attentive. Whoopi notices and leans back, sensing the shift. Sunny continues. You often talk about hard work, discipline, and believing in yourself. And I think that message resonates with a lot of people. But some critics say that framing success that way can overlook the systemic barriers many people face. A few murmurs ripple through the audience. Jennifer nods slowly, choosing her words. I understand that perspective, she says. But I also think hard work is still part of the equation. Sunny responds, Of course it is. But do you think sometimes the narrative of, if I did it, anyone can unintentionally dismiss people who are working just as hard but don't have the same access? Jennifer's smile tightens, just slightly. I've never said anyone can make it just by working hard. Sunny raises her eyebrows. But that's often how it's heard. Jennifer straightens in her chair. Then maybe people aren't listening to everything I'm saying. The audience reacts, some applause, some quiet gasps. Whoopi lifts a hand. All right, let's not jump off the cliff yet. Joy watches closely now, lips pursed, sensing something brewing. Jennifer continues, her voice calm but firmer. I talk about my experience. I talk about what it took for me. That doesn't erase anyone else's struggle. Sunny nods but presses on. I'm not saying it does. I'm saying that when celebrities speak about success, there's a responsibility to acknowledge privilege. Jennifer's eyes stay on Sunny. Privilege doesn't cancel out effort. The audience applauds louder this time. Sunny responds quickly. No one said it does. But ignoring it can send the wrong message. Jennifer exhales, a controlled breath. Sunny, I grew up in the Bronx. My parents worked nonstop. I was rejected constantly. I didn't walk into this industry with open doors. Sunny's tone sharpens just a bit. But you did eventually get doors opened. Not everyone gets that chance. The table goes quiet. Whoopi leans forward. Okay, I'm going to jump in for a second. Jennifer speaks before she can finish. Everyone who succeeds gets a door opened at some point. That doesn't mean they didn't spend years knocking. A mix of applause and murmurs fills the studio. Joy raises her eyebrows. That's true. Sunny looks directly at Jennifer. But do you think your platform gives you a responsibility to emphasize systemic change, not just personal resilience? Jennifer pauses. This time, the silence is longer. I think my responsibility is to be honest, she says. And my truth is that resilience saved me. The audience claps again, louder now. Sunny tilts her head. Even if that truth doesn't apply to everyone? Jennifer responds immediately. No single truth applies to everyone. Whoopi lets out a low, hum, sensing the tension climbing. Jennifer continues, her voice steady but unmistakably emotional now. What I won't do is apologize for my work ethic or let anyone reduce my journey to luck. A few people in the audience stand briefly, clapping. Sunny's expression tightens. No one is reducing your journey. We're talking about the broader message. Jennifer meets her gaze. And I'm saying the broader message shouldn't erase individual accountability. The air feels heavier. Even Sarah shifts in her seat. Whoopi exhales into the mic, phew. Okay, we're going to take a breath, because this is live TV and I can feel everybody leaning forward at home. Jennifer offers a polite smile, but it's clear the ease from earlier is gone. And everyone at the table knows. This conversation is only just beginning. The tension doesn't disappear when Whoopi tries to lighten the moment. If anything, it lingers in the air, thick and uncomfortable, the kind that makes the audience sit a little straighter in their seats. Whoopi clears her throat. So, clearly this is something people feel strongly about, she says carefully. And that's okay. That's why we're here. Jennifer nods, lips pressed together, hands now clasped on the table. Sunny adjusts in her chair, unflinching. Sunny speaks again, her voice measured but firm. Jennifer, I want to be clear. No one is questioning your work ethic. That's not what this is about. Jennifer turns slightly toward her. But it feels like it is. A low murmur moves through the audience. Sunny shakes her head. It's about context. When you're someone young people look up to, when you talk about success, it can sound like failure is purely personal. Jennifer responds quickly. I never said failure is a moral flaw. Sunny counters just as fast. But that's how it lands for some people. Whoopi raises her eyebrows and looks at Joy. Joy gives a tiny shrug as if to say, here we go. Jennifer takes a breath. Sunny, with respect, I can't control how every single person interprets my words. Sunny leans in slightly. But you can clarify them. Jennifer's tone hardens, though she keeps it calm. And I am clarifying them right now. Applause breaks out, louder than before. Whoopi lets it go on for a moment before motioning for quiet. Sarah finally jumps in, trying to soften the exchange. I think what Sunny's saying is that the industry isn't fair, and what Jennifer's saying is that effort still matters. Jennifer nods. Exactly. Sunny looks at Sarah, then back at Jennifer. Effort matters. But so does acknowledging that some people are running uphill with weights on their backs. Jennifer's jaw tightens. And some of us were too. That lands. A collective "oh-oh" ripples through the crowd. Joy leans forward now, unable to stay out of it. I mean, Jennifer, you didn't exactly grow up with a silver spoon. Jennifer turns to her. Thank you. Sunny responds immediately. No one is saying she did. Jennifer shifts back toward Sunny. Then why does it keep sounding like my success needs a disclaimer? The audience claps again, this time mixed with a few cheers. Sunny's expression remains composed, but her voice sharpens. Because when success stories dominate the conversation, they can overshadow systemic problems. Jennifer shakes her head. My story doesn't erase anyone else's. Sunny replies, but it can drown them out. That hits differently. The audience quiets, sensing how personal this is becoming. Jennifer pauses, choosing her words. Sunny, I'm not responsible for telling every story. I tell mine. Sunny nods once. And that's where we disagree. Whoopi exhales loudly. Okay, let's slow this down. Jennifer glances at Whoopi, then back at Sunny. Disagreeing is fine. But I won't accept being framed as someone who doesn't care about others' struggles. Sunny looks directly at her. I never said you don't care. Jennifer's voice rises just slightly. But that's the implication. The audience murmurs again. Sarah looks between them, clearly uncomfortable. Sunny responds calmly. The implication is that influence comes with responsibility. Jennifer responds just as calmly. And responsibility doesn't mean silence about your own experience. Joy nods. That's true. Sunny turns briefly toward Joy. But it also means expanding the lens. Jennifer lets out a short, restrained laugh, not amused, but disbelieving. Sunny, I've spent years advocating for representation for women, for Latinas. To suggest that I don't understand systemic barriers is frustrating. Applause erupts. A few audience members shout, yes. Sunny waits for the noise to die down. Advocacy doesn't exempt anyone from critique. Jennifer stiffens. And critique shouldn't erase reality. Whoopi steps in again, firmer now. All right, both of you. I'm going to say this. We can hold two truths at the same time. Jennifer nods, though her eyes never leave Sunny. I agree. Sunny nods as well. So do I. But the tension doesn't ease. Sunny continues. What I'm pushing back on is the idea that perseverance alone explains success. Jennifer responds, and I'm pushing back on the idea that perseverance is somehow an uncomfortable truth. A beat passes. Sarah tries again. Do you think maybe people are reacting emotionally because they see themselves in these conversations? Jennifer softens slightly. Of course they do. I did too when I was young. Sunny jumps in. Then imagine how it feels for someone who's doing everything right and still can't break through. Jennifer's voice lowers. I don't need to imagine it. I lived it. The audience reacts strongly to that. Loud applause, a few people standing again. Sunny presses her lips together. For how long? That question lands heavy. Jennifer's eyes widen just slightly. For years. Sunny responds quietly. Some people never get the break. Jennifer pauses, then nods. And that's heartbreaking. But that doesn't make my story less real. Silence settles over the table. Even Whoopi doesn't speak right away. Joy finally says, "This is why these conversations get so heated." Jennifer exhales, her shoulders rising and falling. I didn't come here to debate my worth. Sunny replies, just as steady. And I didn't bring this up to question it. They look at each other, neither backing down, neither raising their voice, but the clash is unmistakable. Whoopi leans forward again. All right, we're going to keep going because this is clearly striking a nerve. Not just here, but out there. Jennifer nods, composed but visibly emotional. Sunny adjusts her mic, prepared to continue. The audience senses it too. This isn't over. The room doesn't reset the way daytime TV usually does. Even as Whoopi shifts in her chair and tries to bring the temperature down, the audience can feel that something unresolved is sitting right there at the table. Whoopi speaks slowly. I think what people at home are reacting to is that this is personal for both of you. Jennifer nods, her expression controlled but tight. It is personal. Sunny responds immediately. For me too. That admission surprises some people. A few murmurs ripple through the crowd. Sunny continues. I grew up watching these industries decide who mattered and who didn't. So when we talk about success, I'm always thinking about the ones who didn't make it. Jennifer listens, arms crossed loosely now, but her eyes never leave Sunny. And I think about the ones who were told they didn't belong and kept going anyway. Whoopi looks between them. See, this is where the overlap is. Sunny nods. Maybe. But overlap doesn't mean agreement. Jennifer lets out a quiet laugh. That's fair. Joy finally breaks in again. This feels like one of those conversations where everyone's talking about the same thing, but from different scars. The audience responds with light applause. Sunny turns toward Joy briefly. Exactly. And my concern is about messaging. When young people hear, I made it because I worked hard, some of them hear, if I didn't make it, I didn't work hard enough. Jennifer leans forward slightly. And when they hear only about systems, some of them hear, why bother trying? That earns a strong reaction. Applause mixed with surprised gasps. Sunny lifts her hands slightly. No one is saying don't try. Jennifer responds quickly. But that's how it can land. Whoopi nods. This is the problem with sound bites. Sarah adds, people clip one sentence and run with it. Sunny sighs. I know, but that's reality now. Jennifer's voice softens just a touch. And that's why I'm careful. But I'm not going to speak from a place that isn't true to me. Sunny looks at her closely. Do you think there's room to say, I worked hard and I got lucky? Jennifer pauses. The audience waits. I've said I was fortunate, she answers. But luck didn't teach me how to survive rejection. Applause fills the studio again. Sunny nods slowly. Fair. Joy jumps in. I mean, nobody here thinks Jennifer Lopez didn't work her tail off. The audience laughs and claps. Sunny responds, that's not the debate. Jennifer turns to Joy. Thank you. Then back to Sunny. But that's how it feels. Sunny's tone remains even. Sometimes discomfort means the conversation is doing its job. Jennifer exhales through her nose. Or it means the conversation is missing something. Whoopi raises a finger. Or both. That gets a chuckle from the audience, breaking the tension just slightly. Sunny continues. I think where we're stuck is this idea that telling your story automatically makes it universal. Jennifer responds, I've never claimed it was universal. Sunny presses, but your influence makes it feel that way. Jennifer's voice firms again. So what's the solution? Silence. Sunny shakes her head. Nuance. Jennifer lets out a breathy laugh. Nuance doesn't fit in headlines. The audience reacts with knowing laughter. Sarah nods. That's true. Sunny acknowledges it. but we still have to try. Jennifer nods slowly. I agree with that. There's a brief pause, the closest thing to common ground so far. Whoopi leans back. Okay, we're getting somewhere. But Sunny isn't finished. Jennifer, can I ask you something directly? Jennifer looks at her. Sure. Sunny asks, do you think your success story would look the same if you were coming up today? The question lands heavy. Jennifer thinks for a moment. Honestly? No. The audience murmurs. Sunny follows up. Then doesn't that prove the system matters? Jennifer nods. It does. But so does how you show up inside it. Sunny responds. And not everyone gets the chance to show up. Jennifer's eyes soften. I know. That admission shifts the room again. Jennifer continues. And I don't pretend to have answers for that. But I won't pretend my work didn't matter. Applause breaks out, sustained this time. Sunny nods. I don't want you to. They hold eye contact, not hostile now, but still intense. Joy comments quietly. This is actually an important conversation. Whoopi agrees. It is. Sunny turns to the audience. And it's happening everywhere. Jennifer adds, which is why it shouldn't turn into tearing people down. Sunny responds, or shielding them from critique. Jennifer replies, critique is fair. Erasure is not. The audience reacts strongly again. Whoopi glances at the clock. All right, we've got one more segment. Jennifer sits back, exhaling slowly. Sunny adjusts her posture. The clash hasn't exploded, but it hasn't resolved either. And everyone watching can feel that what happens next will define how this moment is remembered. When the show comes back for the final segment, the audience applause is louder than before, charged with curiosity. People know they just witnessed something real, not a polished talking point, but an honest disagreement unfolding live. Whoopi looks directly into the camera. All right, we're back. And clearly this conversation struck a nerve. Jennifer nods, her expression calmer now but still serious. Sunny sits upright, composed, hands folded. Whoopi continues. Before we wrap, I want to give both of you space to finish your thoughts. Sunny speaks first. I want to be clear, this was never about questioning Jennifer's talent or effort. It's about how we talk about success in a system that isn't equal. Jennifer listens, then responds. And I hear that, but I also need people to hear that telling your truth shouldn't come with an asterisk. A wave of applause rolls through the studio. Sunny nods. Fair. Jennifer adds, I don't want young people to think the world is hopeless. I want them to believe effort matters, even when the odds aren't fair. Sunny replies, and I don't want them to think failure means they didn't try hard enough. They look at each other. For the first time, there's no edge, just mutual recognition. Whoopi smiles slightly. See, that's the balance. Joy jumps in. Social media is going to have a field day with this. The audience laughs. Sarah nods. It already is. Whoopi glances off camera. I'm being told reactions are coming in live. She looks back at the table. People are split. Some are applauding Jennifer for standing her ground. Others are praising Sunny for pushing the bigger picture. Jennifer exhales. That sounds about right. Sunny smiles faintly. That's usually how it goes. Whoopi addresses the camera again. This is why these conversations matter. They're uncomfortable, but they're real. As the show wraps, the applause feels different, not just celebratory, but thoughtful. After the broadcast, clips of the exchange spread fast. Headlines focus on the tension. Short clips trend online, cutting out context, fueling debates. Some viewers call it empowering. Others call it confrontational. Jennifer later posts a message thanking fans for supporting honest dialogue. Sunny responds with a post emphasizing the importance of nuance and accountability. Neither attacks the other, but neither backs down. Behind the scenes, sources say the conversation continued briefly off camera. Calmer, quieter, but still passionate. There was no apology, no blow-up. Just two strong voices standing their ground. By the next morning, talk shows, podcasts, and social feeds are still dissecting the moment. Some praise the show for letting it play out live. Others criticize it for the tension. But one thing is clear, people watched and people cared. Whoopi closes the episode by looking straight into the lens. This is what live television looks like when people don't script their feelings. The audience gives one final round of applause as the music plays. And now we want to hear from you. Do you think Jennifer was right to defend her story so strongly? Or do you agree with Sunny that public figures need to frame success differently? Share your opinion in the comments and subscribe to the Star Talks for more real talk show stories.